Take a moment right now to recall the last time that you felt truly happy. Not just pleased, but really fulfilled from within. It might be a moment from your past. It could have been a sunrise that you watched, or it might have been a conversation that you had with a loved one. But just think about this event or incident which brought in that sense of true fulfillment and happiness. Now, was it coming from outside of you, or was it a manifestation from within? This inquiry points to the truth that the ancient Upanishads have been telling us for thousands and thousands of years. The Upanishads tell us that our nature is Ananda, our nature is true bliss and fulfillment. All we need to do is to go inward and find the ocean that lies within. Yet, most of us, most people in this world will never find true happiness. In this video, we will understand why this happens and how to go about finding that true happiness and fulfillment permanently. The Advaita channel is about consciousness and conscious creation. Here we explore Vedanta and various other teachings from India to understand the nature of reality and to consciously create our lives. In part 1, let's discuss the mirage of happiness. Have you ever wondered how quickly getting something new or buying something new, the happiness that comes from it, fades away? I can think of many examples in my own life. One major event where I experienced this firsthand was when I bought my first car. This was a red Jeep, which was one of my favorite cars, and I had saved up a certain amount of money and it was out of my budget. And yet many years ago, I went ahead and bought it. And I was extremely excited and I was very much looking forward to going and buying this car and using it. But yet, just after a few weeks of buying that car and using it, it became a new normal, and that sense of excitement and that sense of happiness sort of faded away. And in fact, along with that sense of attachment and happiness, what I noticed was a sense of fear, because the day I bought my car, I had to park it outside in an open parking because we were staying at a hotel. And at that time, I could sense that fear within me. This is what happens for all of us. When we become overly attached to different things, fear takes over. And not only this, the sense of excitement and happiness is very temporary and it fades away. But that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to uncover the nature of happiness and uncover the science through which we can attain happiness. Now think about any instance in your life where you were excited to buy a certain thing, whether it might be a new phone or a new vehicle or anything else. That temporary sense of happiness that you got when you bought it, which soon faded away, did that happiness actually come from that external object? Just look at this deeply and think about this objectively. Did the external object actually bring in the happiness, or was happiness something which was always there that simply got manifested because of that external purchase? This is not our mistake. We have been conditioned in this way by the society, by our parents, by the people around us, and by our peers. We have been conditioned to depend on external things for our happiness. When we were young, it was the grades that we were supposed to get. After that, it was a job. After that, it was marriage and a career and so on. So, society conditions us in this way to seek happiness from the external world. And we never question this assumption and conditioning. This pattern of external chasing is not new. It's something both ancient wisdom and modern science have observed. Despite unprecedented access to material comforts, technological advancements, and entertainment, global happiness metrics are not improving at all. Studies show that many wealthy nations with high standards of living still struggle with the epidemics of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. This mirrors what Vedantic texts identified thousands of years ago as our fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of happiness. Psychologists call this phenomenon hedonic adaptation. Our brains effectively adapt to positive changes, quickly returning us to our baseline level of happiness. That promotion that felt life changing gets absorbed into your expectations within months. This creates what philosophers call the hedonic treadmill. We keep running toward new experiences and achievements, yet never arrive at lasting fulfillment. The ancient Vedanta teaches us that the mind projects happiness on external objects and circumstances and makes us chase those circumstances and objects. Throughout all this, we never deeply question the nature of happiness. We never look at it deeply. That is the problem. So let's begin to look at this deeply. Part 2 is about avidya, the veil of ignorance. The Upanishads tell us that we have a fundamental misconception about the nature of reality, the nature of happiness, and the nature of self, or who we are. Basically, as per Advaita Vedanta, everything is one. We are that ultimate reality or the ultimate source of happiness that we are looking for. As per the Upanishads, we are not the body or the mind, but we are the infinite consciousness whose nature is ananda or pure bliss. And this ocean of happiness, which is who we are, which is our own essence, is that which manifests in a tiny proportion when we seek fulfillment from external objects and the external world. So no matter how much we achieve in the external world, we don't seem to get that fulfillment because fulfillment is not there in the external object. The external things and objects sometimes simply act as a stimuli for us to experience a tiny aspect of happiness that already resides within us. This is why most of humanity is unhappy today. As per the Upanishads, we must shift our attention and focus from the external reality to the internal reality where that ocean is directly accessible to us. Consider how you describe yourself. You identify with your body, thoughts, memories, personality traits, social roles, etc. According to Vedanta, these changing aspects do not constitute your true nature. This identification with limited aspects creates an artificial sense of separation and lack, leading directly to the persistent feeling of incompleteness that drives our external pursuits. This is why we never feel truly happy. No matter what we do and no matter what we get, there is always this deep sense of craving within each and every one of us. There is a deep sense of scarcity and incompleteness because we want to attain that absolute happiness, but yet our approach itself is wrong. Let's take the example of one of the greatest singers of this century, who was Michael Jackson. Just look at this person's life. Such a wonderful voice, such a wonderful talent, and he had everything. He had name, he had fame, he had money, and everything that he wanted, he could have bought. But yet, he could not stay with it for long, and he had to end his own life. Why does this happen? Why, even though we have everything, we are not able to get that sense of deep fulfillment? The Upanishads describe this misidentification as taking appearance to be reality. We mistake the changing phenomena for the unchanging consciousness underlying all experience. It is similar to becoming so absorbed in the movie characters that you forget you're watching images projected on a screen. We become identified with our experience's content while forgetting the awareness in which all experience occurs. And all this happens because of avidya, or deep-seated ignorance within us, which separates us from the ultimate reality that we actually are. The great Astavakra says in Astavakra Gita that you are not the universe, but the universe is within you. As per the teachings of Vedanta, we are pure awareness and we are pure happiness. And the world is simply an appearance in us, within us. But because we have identified with an object within the world, which is this body, and because we think that external objects can give us fulfillment, we only experience a tiny aspect of that happiness for a temporary period of time. So, all we need is a perspective shift. And let's see how to make this happen. The part 3 is about the ocean of happiness that is within us. The cosmic misidentification creates the greatest irony of human existence. Like a thirsty fish swimming in the water, yet desperately seeking hydration, we are immersed in an ocean of bliss while ignorantly searching elsewhere for happiness. According to Vedanta, our fundamental nature is not suffering or lack but ananda, pure bliss itself. But this explanation directly contradicts our experience. And you might ask, if our true nature is happiness, then why aren't we experiencing it right now? This is because of our own identification. Now imagine a huge ocean and imagine waves on that ocean. Now, if the wave believes that it is something which is separate from the ocean and it has to become something in order to experience the fullness of the ocean, then all the stress, all the worry, and all the suffering comes for the wave. It's because of the wave's own identification as something which is separate from the ocean. But what is a wave? A wave is nothing but the ocean. The wave is ocean in and through. When the wave comes to this realization that it is not separate from the ocean, that it is fullness, it is that Purnam, then it experiences that fullness and happiness. This is exactly how we must look at reality. We have identified ourselves as these tiny beings separate from the fullness that we are. Because of our identification with this limitation, we experience limitation and suffering. All we have to do is disidentify ourselves from who we think we are and identify ourselves and recognize ourselves for who we really are. Every moment of happiness you've experienced has actually been a manifestation of your inner nature, of this ocean, of this pure consciousness. And our ignorance veils this, and our mind projects this on external things. So we have traveled a full circle in the exploration of happiness. We have come from the external objects to the internal reality of who we are. But all of this is only theoretical now. How to make it practical and how to experience this? Let's understand that now, because this is really important. Now, the journey here is not about doing something, chasing something, achieving something, or even becoming something. It is simply about going within and finding out who we are here and now, who we are in our essence. And there are certain tools and frameworks which can help us do this. Number one, it is self-inquiry. We can take some time in the day and sit in quietness, just contemplating about our nature. We can think about who we are. When we begin contemplation, when we begin meditation, we can easily disidentify from the body because we begin to feel that we exist even without the body. We exist in dreams, we exist in our imaginations, and we exist in different circumstances without the body. When we observe this phenomenon, we'll begin to understand that we are beyond the body. And then later, like this, we must inquire and go beyond the mind and see for ourselves that we are that awareness, that consciousness, which is the form of pure bliss, pure ananda. And secondly, meditation helps here. Spending 10 to 15 minutes a day at least sitting in silence, and simply witnessing our breath and calming our mind will give us access to this happiness more and more. As Sri Ramana Maharshi once said, happiness is your nature. It is not wrong to desire it. What is wrong is seeking it outside when it is inside. This boundless ocean of joy is your own essence. It is always present when distractions fade.